Bridging Continents, Poland-Malaysia Relations at a Pivotal Moment by Azlan Adnan. When Polish President Andrzej Duda touched down in Putrajaya on 9th June 2025, he carried more than a ceremonial passport. He bore the fruits of a diplomatic partnership forged nearly 54 years ago, when Malaysia and Poland first established formal ties on 21 June 1971. A mere 2 years later, Poland opened its embassy in Kuala Lumpur, 1973, while Malaysia inaugurated its embassy in Warsaw on the 4th of November 1978, the second Malaysian mission in the former Eastern Bloc after Moscow. Malaysia continues to maintain its principal diplomatic presence in Warsaw, while Poland operates a consulate in Kuching, Sarawak, in addition to its embassy in Kuala Lumpur. These diplomatic outposts anchor regional engagement, trade negotiations, cultural diplomacy, and educational linkages between the two nations. Political and diplomatic convergence. President Duda's visit came at a significant moment. Malaysia holds the rotating chair of ASEAN, and Poland will assume the EU Council presidency in the first half of 2025. The two leaders, President Duda and Malaysian Prime Minister Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim, emphasized Poland's intention to accede to the ASEAN Treaty of Amity and Cooperation, a key diplomatic step that would further institutionalize Poland's relations with Southeast Asia. Both also reaffirmed support for the long-delayed ASEAN-EU Free Trade Agreement, a framework that could reshape trade flows across continents. On global affairs, both nations expressed strong humanitarian commitments, Malaysia toward Gaza and Poland toward Ukraine, highlighting their shared concern for the protection of civilians in conflict zones. They underscored the importance of multilateralism, international law, and the responsibility of all states to promote peace and stability. Defense cooperation featured prominently. Poland expressed interest in promoting its military equipment, notably the PT-91 main battle tank, and sought opportunities for knowledge exchange with the Malaysian Armed Forces. Future visits to Port Dickson and Sunggala Camp were mentioned, with a view toward bilateral training exercises and technology transfer. Growing people-to-people ties. Malaysia and Poland are moving beyond statecraft into the realm of citizen diplomacy. The two governments are negotiating a memorandum of understanding on higher education, which would facilitate university-level cooperation, academic exchanges, joint research, and mutual recognition of qualifications. There is growing enthusiasm for cultural collaborations, with events such as Polish film screenings, culinary festivals, and music performances, especially of Chopin's works, gaining traction in Malaysia. Tourism cooperation was also on the agenda, with both sides expressing interest in direct flight connectivity. Currently, the journey from Warsaw to Kuala Lumpur requires 1 or 2 layovers. A direct route could halve travel time and significantly boost bilateral tourist arrivals, which remain modest despite strong potential. Trade and economic relations. A mirror of exports. Trade between Malaysia and Poland has grown impressively over the past decade, from around USD 220 million in 2013 to USD 1.33 billion in 2024. Malaysia's exports to Poland in 2024 were valued at approximately USD 750 million, while imports stood at USD 580 million. Notably, both countries export and import many of the same types of products: electrical and electronic components, rubber-based goods, and machinery. Malaysia ships out palm oil, medical devices, semiconductors, and rubber gloves, while Poland sends electrical appliances, machinery, automotive parts, and food products such as dairy, wheat, chicken, and whey protein. This mutual exchange in similar categories is somewhat unusual in international trade and reflects complementary industrial ecosystems rather than direct competition. Agriculture also features in bilateral commerce. Malaysia's export of palm oil and rubber is offset by Poland's shipment of halal-certified poultry, processed meat, and flour-based products, which find a niche market in Malaysia. Both nations are exploring the certification and promotion of halal goods, which could become a major growth area given Malaysia's leadership in the global halal industry. Emerging sectors include green technology, digital infrastructure, Islamic finance, and automotive components. Poland, with its advanced manufacturing base, sees Malaysia as a gateway to ASEAN's 650 million strong market. Conversely, Malaysian firms are exploring logistics and distribution opportunities in Central Europe via Poland. Education and student exchange. Minds in Motion Poland has become an increasingly popular destination for Malaysian students, particularly in the fields of medicine, dentistry, and engineering. Polish universities are known for their high-quality, affordable education and EU-wide degree recognition. According to earlier data, there were around 211 Malaysian students in Poland during the 2015-16 academic year. Though up-to-date figures are scarce, anecdotal evidence from Malaysian and Polish diplomatic sources suggests steady growth. Most Malaysian students enroll in medical and health sciences programs offered in English in cities such as Warsaw, Krakow, and Wrocław. Meanwhile, Malaysia has positioned itself as a regional education hub. The country now hosts more than 130,000 international students, of whom a small but visible number are Polish. These students often pursue degrees in medicine, Islamic finance, and engineering, benefiting from lower tuition costs and Malaysia's multicultural learning environment. The number of Polish students remains modest, estimated at 200 to 300 annually, but bilateral agreements on academic collaboration are expected to encourage greater mobility in both directions. ASEAN-EU strategic partnership and beyond. As Malaysia and Poland deepen their bilateral ties, they are simultaneously contributing to the broader ASEAN-EU strategic partnership. Poland supports Malaysia's efforts to promote moderate Islam, interfaith dialogue, and the halal economy, while Malaysia welcomes Poland's technical expertise and interest in the Green Deal and digital transformation. Bilateral consultations continue to serve as platforms for refining cooperation. The most recent Malaysia-Poland Joint Commission meeting, held in Warsaw on the 10th of June 2024, laid out action plans covering trade liberalization, defense industry cooperation, student mobility, and tourism development. These working groups are scheduled to reconvene in Kuala Lumpur in 2026. Outlook: from warm ties to strategic partnership. The trajectory of Poland-Malaysia relations points to a transition from warm, friendly ties to a more strategic partnership, grounded in shared economic interests, academic collaboration, and regional cooperation. Key to this transformation will be the realization of a comprehensive ASEAN-EU free trade agreement, which could provide the legal and commercial framework to scale trade in goods, services, and technology. Tourism flows are expected to rise once direct flights commence and joint promotional campaigns are launched. The educational exchange sector holds great promise, especially if degree recognition frameworks are finalized and student visa processes are streamlined. Defense cooperation, while nascent, could expand to include joint training, cybersecurity, and military R&D. Finally, the cultural sphere, still underexplored, offers fertile ground for future cooperation. As the 21st century unfolds, Poland and Malaysia, though geographically distant, are finding common purpose through diplomacy, trade, education, and shared values. This renewed engagement is not merely ceremonial. It is a conscious, forward-looking realignment that promises to reshape ties between Central Europe and Southeast Asia for decades to come. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed, now seek the skies, and slowly, clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still. a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.